Our paddle steamer adventure starts in the historic community of Echuca, nestling on the banks of the Murray River in northern Victoria. This was a thriving port in the 19th century, with paddle steamers carrying wool and wheat to the township. As the closest point to Melbourne, it was connected by the steam railway. Today, much of the original settlement remains just as it was in the 19th century, especially the central precinct. Echuca's past has been preserved for future generations thanks to its waterfront, now transformed into a living museum with the old loco still on display. But it's the golden age of river travel we're reliving. On board today, the Emmylou with skipper Warren Hardiman. Well, Warren, what an adventure up the Murray River, eh? Still a river to explore.
It's still a river to explore. It's a terrific river, and the further away, of course, you get from Echuca, the more remote it is, and the more virgin scrub you see, and the less signs of civilization. So we love it down here.
So from Echuca, we're going to head downstream.
Downstream to Paracuta Station, and from Paracuta Station we'll stay there for the night.
The Emmylou is still powered by the wood supplied from the red gums along the riverbank, a scene that's hardly changed over the centuries. This is the way life used to be on the Murray River, living on board, boating upstream, downstream, trade, a lot of trade a century ago.
Absolutely. The paddle steamers, like the Emmylou, were a main source of communication amongst the river towns and amongst the cities even. So a good example, people wanting to travel from Melbourne to Sydney would go by a paddle steamer. It seems a bit strange, but a steam train from Spencer Street Station to Echuca, and then the paddle steamer from Echuca to Albury, and then the train to Sydney.
Warren, tell us about the Emmylou.
The Emmylou was built in the early 1980s, purpose-built for the tourist industry and for the overnight tourist industry in particular. The Emmylou was built to recapture the majesty and the romance, I suppose, of the paddle steamer days of 120, 130 years ago.
It's an idyllic way to travel, with our trip taking us up to the historic Paracuta Station, built in 1843. This 9-bedroom homestead offers a glimpse of life from a bygone era.